Free Spirit Beaters. Welcome back. This is Kristen Fagan here at Softflex Company's YouTube channel. And today we are going to create an easy stretch bracelet tutorial for kids. So we introduced at softflexcompany.com a brand new kids beading activity kit, and in it comes with stretch magic, some assorted check glass, and some teeny tiny beads. So today I just wanted to do a quick tutorial for those of you that may have purchased this kit for grandkids or your own kids, and you maybe haven't done a stretch bracelet before and you just want some tips on how to easily string it and knot it. Hi Lee, hi Susie, good to see you. I'm doing good. How's everybody else doing out there? We're hanging in. Do you hear Mary? She's she's on the side of me over here, my doggy, giving a little hello. But yeah, we're doing good over here, and I hope everyone had a nice Easter Sunday yesterday for those of you that celebrate. We just stayed home, of course, went for a bike ride, enjoyed the beautiful weather here that we've got in Arizona right now, and picked some flowers, made a little bouquet, some carrot cake, and had a nice day. Hi, Lydia. Welcome. So, just so you guys know, we are still doing our joyful beading challenges over on the Softflex Company Facebook group, the Softflex VIB Studio Facebook group. Today is April 13th, and the prompt today is use a button in a jewelry design. Go ahead and share your designs in our Facebook group, and every share is a entry to win with the hashtag joyful beading, an entry to win $10 credit on a future order. We also have free shipping going on right now. So at softflexcompany.com, we have a free shipping offer. Use coupon code SHIPFREE, all one word, and that is for any size order. Usually we have a minimum you have to meet to get free shipping. We are just doing free shipping for all orders, no minimum required, with the coupon code for retail and designer. So you could take advantage of that until tomorrow, April 14th at midnight Pacific time. And I do need to just mention, you know, we are a company in a shelter-in-place region. We're currently able to operate just at a very different capacity than usual, but we are currently operating. However, that can change at any time. So, you know, please try and get your orders in soon if there's something that you need or you're running low of, and this way we can make sure to get it out to you timely before anything ends up changing. And thank you so much for everyone that's placed orders already and just helping us support our small business and keep things going during this crazy time. We hope that you're able to enjoy your passion while all this is going on and bead. And we really just thank each and every one of you for joining us here on our videos and continuing to support our small business throughout all of this. So that said, let's make a quick stretch bracelet. I am gonna do a one strand this time. I do have a 2-strand technique that I've learned from Tricky Ricky. It's called the Tricky Ricky knot, and that is a really nice knot to use when you're using larger beads, using gemstone beads or beads with larger holes, because you do have to have 2 strands of stretch magic. This particular project I did with that Tricky Ricky knot, and you can find this in the Softflex archives under the stretch playlist or under my Free Spirit Beading playlist. It's called a Flower Power bracelet, I believe, so you can always search by that too. So that's what you would do for a 2-strand. And if you have larger beads or you have beads that are gemstones and heavier and you want something a little bit stronger. Today we're going to be working with small beads that have tiny holes. So we're just going to do a 1-strand design, and then I've got a knotting technique to show you. All right, let's get beading. So here's what we got going on. So stretch bracelets made from Stretch Magic elastic cord are a lot of fun. They're quick and easy to make. This is one I've done in the past with some small beads and these little teeny tiny Buddhas. They're great for, your kids, your grandkids. It's an easy craft, simple way to introduce someone to the fun of jewelry making. And like I said, we just put up a kids beading craft activity online at softflexcompany.com. And in it, you will get Stretch Magic, this beading elastic cord. You'll get an assortment of check glass beads. Not these in particular, but something similar. This is what check glass beads would look like. And then you get some teeny tinies. Now I have a teeny tiny Buddha here. You can find more teeny tinies at softflexcompany.com. These are small ceramic beads that are handmade in Peru by a family. But they do have a really nice size hole. And so this is a good focal bead for hiding your knot. You'll see, I think I've got it. Yeah, so I've got this particular knot hidden inside there. So that works really well to tuck in. The kids' beading activity sets come with Stretch Magic, assortment of check glass, and then a couple of teeny tiny beads. How do you know when to use one or two strands? Liz, it's really what fits through your beads. So because I'm working with these smaller check glass beads, I can't fit 2 strands of Stretch Magic through here. I was only able to fit 1 strand. So that is why I strung it just 1 strand. When you're using larger beads that have larger holes like this one does, all these holes are pretty large, then you can do the 2-strand method. And that will just give you a different level of security. So that would be my tip, is if you can fit, if you can't, if you're using smaller beads like I am today, then you just do the 1 strand. Hi, Elizabeth, welcome. So we're going to be using Stretch Magic. Stretch Magic is a bead and jewelry elastic type cord. This one is clear. We also sell it in black. And this is the 0.7 millimeter size. This is like the middle size. We've got 3 sizes. We've got 0.5, 0.7, and 1 millimeter. If you are only using 1 strand, I would suggest doing the 0.7 or the 1 millimeter, because you want to use the strongest you can when you're doing just 1 strand. This is what went in with the kit. This is what I typically have on hand. It's the middle size, so it works really well for most beads. So we'll be using that today. I've got a pair of scissors. You can use scissors, you can use a bead nipper, a cutter, anything to cut it, but this would be the most basic of your supplies, is having a pair of scissors on hand. I'm not going to use glue today. However, for extra security, you can use a glue like our specialty glue we've got online, which is a gap filling glue, and it dries clear and pliable. That's awesome, and we suggest that and recommend it if you want a little added security. But I'm just going to do a knot today that's going to allow us to forego the glue if you don't have to use it. Assorted check beads, Stretch Magic. I've also heard people use clear nail polish. So if that's another option for added security, that if you don't have any glue and you do want to add something, you can try a little clear nail polish on the knot at the end. So the first thing you want to do is you want to measure your wrist. And this is a neat little, just a little tip if you ever need to measure a necklace, a wrist, or anything for someone. You can take some string or you can take some ribbon and you just put it around your wrist. And I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to pull it super tight. I'm just going to make it kind of comfortable. And then you pinch where that is. And then you take that and you place it on your ruler, and then you'll have a measurement that you can base your jewelry design by. Let me just grab that again. Here, and I am about 7 inches. You can always do that with the Stretch Magic itself, but I thought it would be nice to show it to you with the string here so you can see what I did. And if you're ever trying to make a jewelry for someone else and you're not with them, this is a nice tip to say, hey, can you just grab a piece of string or a piece of ribbon and measure your wrist for me? And that would be how they could do it. So I know I want 7 inches of beads strung on my Stretch Magic. And I've already got some beads strung here. I would suggest when you're working with kids to not cut the stretch, and this is anybody really too, not cut the Stretch Magic off your spool. To string your beads right, see this is still attached here. String your beads right on the spool, and that way you've already got one side where your beads can't roll off. Because this side is cut, your beads can roll off here, but they're not going to roll off on this side. So it just makes it a little easier to not lose your beads when you're working. So I already pre-strung here, and then you can put this up to your ruler and see I've got it's about 7 inches, and I'm going to be happy with that. So before I cut, I just want to talk a little bit about pre-stretching. So stretch cord is an elastic type material, and over time, it's very taut at first. Over time, it is going to stretch and pull. So it's recommended that you go through and just tug. Just do a little bit of tugging on this stretch, giving it a nice pull, and you will notice that it gets a little looser. So you'll feel a difference. So just go through. This is called pre-stretching. What this does is it stretches your elastic for you before you begin so that you don't have it stretching out on your wrist and getting longer after you've been wearing it. What size are my beads? I don't really know. Let me check my little chart here. I have a wide assortment of sizes. They're all, these little guys are all check glass beads. Let me see. I want to say, so these are 4 millimeter here, the little rounds, and these are 5 millimeter wide on these here. And Softflex Company is just sharing the bead size chart PDF, which is exactly what I'm using right now to check the size. So on this bracelet, I've got 4 and 5 millimeter beads. And on this one, this guy is 6 millimeter. And the rest are smaller, but they're kind of saucer shaped. So I would say they're about 3 to 4. And on here, I've definitely got some larger beads. This one's from the Painted Sunflower bead mix. And I would say that these are 5 millimeter up to all the way up to about 14 millimeter. So this one here is 14 millimeters wide. So I hope that helps. Okay, so you're gonna pre-stretch your wire, then you're gonna leave your wire on your spool and string all your beads. And this is for kids. This is great for pattern color coordinating, for counting, for creating patterns. They can create symmetrical patterns. They can create asymmetrical patterns. You're welcome, Elizabeth. So really lots of different things they can do with a group of beads to help them learn as they create. So after you've strung your beads, you just use your scissors and you're gonna cut, and you wanna make sure that you give yourself a nice amount on each side for your knotting. I will measure this, and so I've got about 3 inches. So I left myself about 3 inches on each side to give myself a really nice amount of space for knotting. And let me undo this one too. So in this particular design, I'm using one of those teeny tiny beads, and I have it strung at the end. Doesn't matter which end, but you want to string your teeny tiny or your focal bead at either end, either this side or this side. And the reason being is because you're gonna want to tuck in your knot into that teeny tiny bead. So whatever bead you're using as your focal or as your larger bead to hide your knot, that's what you want at the end. And it can be this side or this side, but it just needs to be located where you're going to be knotting. So I will show, let's knot here. I'm gonna do 2 kinds of knots, and reason being, I'm really trying to add some extra security since I'm not adding glue. So the first knot I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an overhand knot. So you're gonna cross the 2 ends, and then I'm gonna take this left over the right through the center, just a regular overhand knot, and pull. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to cross again, but this time I want to do the left one over the right and through the center, like that. So you're doing an overhand knot on one side and then the other. And that's our first, and we're going to give it a nice tug. And now I'm going to do what's called a surgeon knot. So we're going to cross again, just like we did the first time. I'm going to do left over right through the center, and then I'm going to twist it one more time through that center. So now I've got it twisted through twice there, and then pull that down. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to do this left one over and through the center. And see how that's sticking up now? So we're going to pull it through the center once more. So you're just twisting it down and through the center again. So now you've got that on the other side. And that is called a surgeon's knot. So now you want to pull tight. You want to pull tight these 2 tying strands, but you also want to pull your 2 bracelet strands. So you want to come in here, grab a hold of the 2 bracelet strands and pull them as well to make sure your knot is nice and tight. Then you can trim off with your scissors. You just trim off the elastic, making sure not to cut the knot and making sure not to cut your bracelet. And then you can take this knot and you can hopefully get it through that bead there, your little focal bead. I'm just going to push him in using my And just trim that little guy off a little bit. There we go. And there you have it. Now, when you're putting bracelets like this, stress bracelets on and off your wrist, you're gonna wanna roll them. So you wanna stick them on your hand and then roll them up and over. And what that will ensure is that you're less likely to pull it out too far and snap it. And then if you take it off, you just wanna roll it off the same way. So that is a special 2 knots you can do right on top of each other to give yourself extra security when you're not using any type of glue. So I'm gonna show it to you guys again on this one, just to make it super duper clear. So you're gonna pick up your 2 ends, kind of find your center, and you're going to cross. I've got these crossed, and then I'm gonna take the left over the right side, through the center, and then pull. This is my regular overhand knot on the one side. And then I'm gonna cross again. And this time I'm gonna take the left through the center and then pull. So now I've got an overhand knot on the right side, overhand knot on the left side. And then I'm gonna do my surgeon's knot. So I'm gonna cross, just like we did the first time. You're gonna go inside the center, left over right. See how that pops up? And then you'll just go through it again. Close that. And then we're gonna do it on the other side. Go through the center. That comes up, go through the center again. And then now really pull that down and then go inside here between your bracelet and give that a pull as well. And in this case, I did not put a focal bead. So you'll see the difference is now you'll have a little knot there because this bead hole is not large enough for that to slide into. And when you use a bead that's got a larger hole, then you can get the knot in there. But in this case, I didn't have a large hole bead at the end, so you do see the knot. And if you have a pair of bead nippers, you can get a little closer to cutting off your tails than you can with a pair of scissors. Again, just to put it on, you want to slide it up over your wrist and then slide it back down. So super quick and easy, a little fun extra knotting there. So if you were to just do the overhand knots and not do the surgeon knot, you will notice that eventually your knot will slip. So that is why adding that surgeon knot really helps to keep the knot in place. If you do pick up one of these kits, if you happen to have a Girl Scout or a Girl Scout as your grandkid or as your kids, this jewelry making kit is considered a STEAM learning activity, science, technology, engineering, art, and math, because you are doing engineering and art all in one project, and then you obviously have math for the counting, and you're teaching them all that good stuff in a nice, fun art project. And if your child is a Girl Scout, this kit is a great way to work on your jeweler badge. So just a little tidbit if you happen to have a little Girl Scout at home looking for something to do, people trying to keep kids busy right now. We expect this project will require adult supervision and assistance for most children under the age of 12, and that parents, I think you'll need to definitely do the knotting portion of the bracelet for them in most cases. Older kids should be fine, but younger kids will definitely need your help in doing the knotting. Let me turn you back up. So this is a quick one for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and stretch bracelets are a lot of fun to make, especially when you've got some kids around to play with. You can have them kind of load up their beads in the pattern that they want, and then you can help them with the measuring and the cutting and the knotting, and easy peasy. Hi Nicole from Fort Worth, welcome. So a couple things to talk about this week is we have a live bead sale tomorrow. Very cute, Susie says. Yeah, they are. They're always cute stretch bracelets, and they're fun to stack and wear a couple of them, or wear them with other things you've got on too. They're just kind of quick bracelet to add. So tomorrow we've got a live bead sale from Mike Sherman's private collection. We do our live bead sales over on the Softflex Company Facebook page. That'll be at 1 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, Tuesday, April 14th. And then the sale will be open through Thursday. So you'll have up until Thursday to shop, and then we close it so that we can get all our orders settled and out the door. Sarah will have a Facebook Live tutorial with you guys on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, again over on the Softflex Company Facebook page. And then I'll be back here again next Monday with a new tutorial. Not sure what. I know that our prompt for next Monday in the Joyful Beading is stretchy bracelets again. So maybe I'll come back with the double strand Tricky Ricky knot and show you guys that one, so you have another knot and option in your tool chest. Yeah. That's all for me today. I hope you guys had a great holiday weekend for those of you that celebrate yesterday. I know it was probably a lot quieter than usual for us, but still made the best of it and enjoyed time with our immediate family. I got to do a lot of baking. I actually felt like I cooked all day. So I made breakfast, and then I made dinner, and then I made carrot cake, and so I spent a lot of time in the kitchen yesterday. But it's nice to have days like that. Try new recipes and just wing it. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys here again next Monday. And be well, stay home, stay safe, and yeah, we'll get through this, right? Beading will get us through. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.